I'm Mike Pease with the Boulder Police Department, and in July I went on a backpacking trip with my son, and my son and I couldn't make it up the mountain and stuff like that due to my shortness of breath. And so we turned around and we came back and came home, and within a week I went to the doctor and I was having a hard time breathing and had a cough, and the doctor recommended inhalers and antibiotics. And in August I had the same symptoms, the shortness of breath, the coughing, and not feeling very well, or not looking very well. And so they prescribed antibiotics and an inhaler. And so in September I was still feeling the same way, and I asked my family doctor if I could get an x-ray of my lungs. Arrangements were made that day to go to Longmont United Hospital and get an x-ray of my lungs. By the next, that was on a Friday, and on the next Tuesday, I was called into the doctor's office. He wanted to talk to my wife and I. And at that time, I knew something was wrong. Our family doctor said he felt that I had cancer of the lungs, and he referred me to a lung doctor. So I met with the lung doctor within the week, and he had scheduled biopsies for me at Longmont United Hospital. I went to day surgery on a Monday, and he took biopsies of my lung. He called me on Tuesday saying that he got some partial biopsy. The whole cells didn't come out when he pulled a piece of my lung out, and so he scheduled a biopsy for the Wednesday. I got back with him on the Friday, and he confirmed that I did have cancer. After that, I was referred to a cancer doctor at Longmont United Hospital, and my wife and I, she went to most of my appointments with me. We talked with the cancer doctor, and over a amount of time, we decided that the doctor would get aggressive with dealing with my cancer. Arrangements were made to meet with a surgeon and fill him in on what was going on, and he would watch my prognosis as to what I was doing. We started out, I was recommended for radiation treatment and chemotherapy treatment. So we started out on the radiation of a morning, and radiation treatments at Longmont United Hospital. Of a morning, I would get done with that radiation treatment and walk over to chemotherapy and get my chemo at that time. That went on for 2 weeks with the radiation and chemo. They gave me a 2-week break, but I was still taking radiation for 3 more weeks. And then they started the chemo again on me. And after 2 weeks, I was done with radiation and chemo, and they let my body adjust to the radiation and whatnot. Arrangements were made to meet with the surgeon. I met with my wife met with the surgeon, and surgery was, knowing that I had cancer, surgery was set for December 18th at Longmont United Hospital. At that time, it was a stage 3 cancer, and they thought that they could take out the top lobe of my left lung and everything would be just fine. Come around to the December 18th day, they took me into surgery, and the surgeon at that point found the cancer that was visible on the x-rays, and also found in the lower lobe on the back side that was not visible in the x-rays some more cancer. So he ended up taking out the whole left lung. While he was inside of me, he also noticed that my lymph node at the bottom of my sternum was also cancerous. He made the determination that he would leave that in there because he had not spoken with us about the removal of that, which might affect my voice. So he left that in there, and also one of his fears was he would hit the aorta on the heart that was right next to it, and then I'd bleed to death on the table. They stitched me up. I stayed in the hospital, and then on Christmas Eve I was released from the hospital to go home and have Christmas with my family. I had previously bought gifts for my family, before I went into the hospital for the surgery, knowing that if I didn't make it, they would have a Christmas present from me. But I got to give them my gifts myself. Throughout this time, the Boulder Police Department has been very supportive of me. The employees have brought in food to the house, given us money, as well as our friends and our church group has taken well care of us. After the surgery, I recuperated at the house for some time, and again, the church groups and the employees mailed us cards, took care of us, asked of our needs. I did not have to shovel snow all winter long. The employees took care of that at our house, and a lot of food was brought. After I got feeling better, I went back to the doctors and continuing seeing the doctors while I was healing. And then when I got feeling better, we met with the doctors and decided that a course of radical medical treatments would have to take place since the lymph node was still in there. So what we did is we started out by meeting with Dr. McNeely at the Cancer Center in Boulder, and he's in charge of the CyberKnife. And he, with Dr. Cleish at Longmont United, who's in charge of radiation, and Dr. Barnett, who's in charge of the cancer ward in Longmont, all met and decided on what track we're going to take to attack the lymph node. So it was decided on that we would go to the radiation first, and so they did 2 weeks of radiation in 1 week at Longmont United Hospital under the direction of Dr. Cleish. And at that time, they wanted me to hold off a little bit. And the reason for that is I had radiation in my body, and I couldn't take any more at the time. So we met with Dr. McNeely, and he took all of the x-rays and the medical records he had at that point and started his process on looking to see if I was a candidate for CyberKnife. After the 6-week wait, 4 to 6 week wait, then he called me in and told me I was a candidate, and the insurance would help pay for the CyberKnife. So I came to Boulder 5 days for treatments with the CyberKnife. The difference between radiation is in radiation there's a tube that goes over you and back and over, and it just impregnates the whole chest with radiation. Whereas CyberKnife is a directed camera of radiation that gives pulses. So I had it took a doctor and a physicist to look at how they were going to give me the 150 pulses. So they did that. I did it for 5 treatments, and of course it's not invasive to the body. It goes through the cells and everything else. They even went through my good lung to hit the lymph node. After that treatment was done, then I did 1 more week of chemotherapy, and they put 2 weeks of chemotherapy into 1 week, and that took a week to do. Now I was so full of radiation and the chemotherapy drugs, they told me I had to wait 6 to 8 weeks to cool off for my body to get normal, so they could get normal PET scans again, as well as CT scans. So on July 28th, I'm scheduled to go back in and get a full body scan, and on August 2nd, I'm scheduled to meet with Dr. Barnett, the cancer doctor, to find out what the body scan is showing, whether I'm still cancerous or I'm in remission, or where we stand at this point.